first episode, Tanjiro was lucky enough he met Gyu who spared both their lives. But what if things played out differently? What if, instead of Gyu, Tanjiro met the other Hashiras in episode 1? In today's video, we'll be taking a look at what would have happened if the other Hashiras met Tanjiro instead of Gyu in episode 1. Imagine if the story of Demon Slayer began in a different way. In this alternate version, Tanjiro and Nezuko would have met Rengoku instead of Gyu in episode 1. As they approach him, Rengoku immediately noticed Nezuko's demon-like appearance and prepared to attack. If Rengoku strictly followed the rules of the Demon Slayer Corps, he would be obliged to kill Nezuko on the spot. Tanjiro would have tried to beg him, just like he did with Gyu in the original episode, explaining that Nezuko was different from other demons and had control over her urges to harm humans. However, Rengoku may not have been as willing to listen, as he was more loyal to the rules of the Corps than Gyu was. If Tanjiro defended Nezuko, Rengoku would have likely started a fight. However, Rengoku was a skilled demon slayer and would have probably overpowered Tanjiro. Alternatively, Tanjiro could have attempted to flee with Nezuko, but they would have been pursued by Rengoku and other demon slayers, seeing Tanjiro as a traitor for defending a demon. If Rengoku caught up to them, he would have likely given Tanjiro one last chance to turn Nezuko over or face the consequences. Tanjiro may have been torn between his love for his sister and his desire to avoid conflict with the Demon Slayer Corps. Ultimately, he might have been forced to make the difficult decision to protect Nezuko at all costs, even if it meant going against the corpse and risking his own life. Sadly, the scenario would have ended in a tragic manner, with Rengoku killing Tanjiro and Nezuko as he was following the rules and protocol of the Demon Slayer Corps. It would have been a heartbreaking start to the story, setting a darker and more somber tone for the series. This version of Demon Slayer would have been a gripping tale of love, loss, and sacrifice. It's possible that in episode 1, Tengen would have the same reaction as Rengoku, especially if he were not familiar with Tanjiro and Nezuko's circumstances. Even if Tanjiro begged and tried to explain Nezuko's differences from other demons, Tengen may not be willing to take any chances. As a skilled fighter with the ability to sense even the slightest movements, Tengen could quickly identify Nezuko as a demon and might not hesitate to attack her. Even if Tengen also had some sibling problems, were they forced to kill each other, he wouldn't have any sympathy for a demon. Tanjiro and Nezuko may not be able to outrun Tengen as he has sharp senses and is a formidable opponent. Even if they try to escape, Tengen could quickly catch up to them and pose a threat. There's no doubt that he would have killed Nezuko on the spot, especially since Nezuko was still somewhat aggressive in episode 1. If Mitsuri were the demon slayer who encountered Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, the outcome could be quite different from the scenarios with some of the more hostile Hashira like Sanemi, Obanai, and Tengen, as Mitsuri is known for her compassionate and caring nature and her willingness to see the good in people, even demons. It's possible that Mitsuri would have approached Tanjiro and Nezuko with a kind and empathic attitude. She may have been willing to listen to their story and understand their predicament rather than jumping to conclusions and attacking them. Mitsuri's gentle nature and compassionate spirit may have allowed her to sympathize with Nezuko's situation as a demon and not see her as a threat. If Tanjiro had explained Nezuko's situation and asked for help, Mitsuri may have been more than willing to assist them. Her strong sense of justice and desire to help others may have even led her to break the rules of the Demon Slayer Corps just to lend a hand. Her unwavering belief in the good of people, even demons, could have made all the difference in this particular encounter. On the other hand, if Mitsuri had seen Nezuko as a threat, she still would have approached the situation with a compassionate and understanding attitude, but she may have been more cautious. She may have tried to find a way to subdue Nezuko without hurting her, all while trying to convince Tanjiro to cooperate with the Demon Slayer Corps. If Obanai were to encounter Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, he would likely be on a mission to exterminate demons and would be unlikely to be sympathetic towards them. Obanai is a strict follower of the rules of the Demon Slayer Corps and has no tolerance for demons, as he believes that they deserve a painful death. Picture this. Tanjiro, desperate to save his demon sister Nezuko, begs Obanai, the serpent Hashira, to spare her life. Despite Tanjiro's pleas and explanations that Nezuko is different from other demons, Obanai remains unmoved. He firmly believes that all demons are evil and must be eradicated to protect humanity. In this grim scenario, Obanai may not give Nezuko a chance to prove herself or listen to Tanjiro's words. He may attack her without hesitation, leaving Tanjiro in shock and falling into despair. The world of Demon Slayer can be cruel and unfair unforgiving, and this encounter would prove to be one of the unluckiest encounters Tanjiro may have. In trying to protect Nezuko, Tanjiro may face Obanai's formidable Hashira skills, and if he doesn't back down, even Obanai wouldn't hesitate to strike him down. This would highlight the brutal reality of the Demon Slayer world, where strength and skill are crucial for survival. If Sanemi were the Demon Slayer who encountered Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, he would likely be very hostile towards them, particularly towards Nezuko since she's a demon. Sanemi is known for his intense hatred and lack of mercy towards demons, so he may not hesitate to attack Nezuko on sight. Tanjiro, being the determined and brave brother that he is, may try to reason with Sanemi and explain Nezuko's situation. However, given Sanemi's uncompromising nature and his past experiences with demons, he may not be willing to listen to Tanjiro's words. To conclude, it's possible that in a scenario where Sanemi encounters Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, they will not survive. The world of Demon Slayer is a harsh and unforgiving one, and those who choose to stand against the Demon Slayer Corp's rules and beliefs may not live to tell the tale, especially if they meet Sanemi. Proof of this can be found in the Hashira meeting where they discussed Nezuko's fate. Sanemi was the one who was passionately against Nezuko being able to live and went as far as losing his cool in front of Kagaya Ubayashiki. In an alternate reality where Tanjiro and Nezuko met the stone Hashira, Gyomei Himejima, in episode 1, their encounter would have been a dangerous one. Gyomei is an unwavering follower of the Demon Slayer Corp's rules and beliefs, and his strength and senses make him a formidable opponent to demons and humans alike. Gyomei's intense loyalty to justice and his ability to distinguish between good and evil are well known throughout the Demon Slayer Corps. Despite his blindness, he can sense demons from afar and has proven his strength in battles against powerful foes such as Kokushibo. If Gyomei had detected Nezuko's scent as a demon, he would have immediately gone on the offensive. Tanjiro's pleas for mercy may have fallen on deaf ears, as Gyomei's adherence to the Demon Slayer Corps rules would have left no room for compromise. In this harsh and unforgiving world, those who stand against the Corp's beliefs and regulations rarely survive, and Tanjiro and Nezuko's encounter with Gyomei would have been no exception. However, if Tanjiro had been willing to cooperate with the Corps, Gyomei may have been willing to assist them in their quest to cure Nezuko's curse. With his immense strength, experience, and extensive knowledge of demon-slaying techniques, Gyomei could have provided valuable insights and strategies for dealing with a demon threat. Thus, Gyomei may have been a valuable ally to their cause, but ultimately, it would have been up to Tanjiro to decide whether or not to follow the Corps' rules and accept Gyomei's help. Regardless of the outcome, the encounter with Gyomei would have been a reminder of the harsh and unpredictable nature of the Demon Slayer world, where one wrong move could mean the difference between life and death. In an alternate version of Demon Slayer, if Shinobu were the Hashira who encountered Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, she would likely have a similar reaction to Obanai and other Hashiras who despise demons. Shinobu is known for her strong hatred towards demons, particularly after her family was killed by them, so she would not be easily swayed by any explanations or pleas from Tanjiro. Shinobu's hatred towards demons would make it unlikely for her to believe Tanjiro's explanations about Nezuko. This could lead her attacking Nezuko, leaving Tanjiro devastated and alone. If Shinobu spares Nezuko, she would still treat her harshly. Despite her willingness to capture demons alive, Shinobu has never shown any compassion towards them and would torture them instead. Her hatred towards demons is deeply rooted, making it unlikely for her to show any mercy, even to demons like Nezuko. If Tokito encountered Tanjiro and Nezuko in episode 1, he may have been initially cautious of Nezuko given her status as a demon. However, he may have also been willing to hear Tanjiro's story and try to understand the situation. If Tanjiro were to try to escape, it's possible that Tokito would use his speed and swordsmanship to subdue him while assessing whether Nezuko posed an immediate threat. However, given Tokito's more easygoing personality, he may be more willing to hear Tanjiro out and consider a peaceful resolution rather than immediately resorting to violence. If Tanjiro were to try to fight Tokito to protect Nezuko, Tokito would likely defend himself using his considerable swordsmanship skills while still attempting to assess the situation and find a peaceful solution if possible. However, if Tokito believed that Nezuko posed an immediate threat, he would not hesitate to use his skills as a Hashira to protect humanity and eliminate the demon. Considering that most Hashiras would outright kill Nezuko without a second thought because of their past and personalities, as well as their hatred towards demons. If you have your own theories of what would happen if Tanjiro and Nezuko met different Hashiras, leave them down in the comments below. And we have another interesting what if that might break the original timeline as we know it. If you're curious enough, take a look at our next video.